out there, they're going to be watching. They're going to want to know, how did you make that money in real estate? Just how did you do it? And so we're going to share that with these people tonight. We're going to make those people better people, just like you are. No problem. It's really lovely. Hi, I'm Randy James, and welcome to the Randy James Show. Tonight, I'm going to share with you some secrets on how to get rich. You know, as you're driving down the street in that little Pinto that's all beat up, and you drive to that crummy little house of yours, and you look around and you see out there are people driving new Mercedes-Benz, new BMWs, and living in very fancy houses. And you wonder, just how do they do it? What is it that makes their life so much better than your life? You're going to learn tonight when you learn some of Randy James's miracle secrets. The miracle? Real estate. You're going to make untold millions of dollars in real estate. And all you have to do is listen to me. I have some people here with me tonight that are going to share some of their secrets with you on how they made money in real estate. They're some of my active students, and we have a couple of people who are just brand new to real estate. They've just started taking my courses, so let's go ahead and meet some of these people. I'd like to start off by introducing to you Mr. Ed Sampson. Ed, why don't you share a little information with us about yourself?
Well, I used to be a waiter. I waited on tables. I went from restaurant to restaurant. I did everything, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I owe a lot of this to Randy James' Miracle Real Estate Seminar. I got out of that. I got completely out of that. I went into real estate. I've gone about as far as you can go in your seminars, I think. I'm up into the chimney level.
Graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Chimney, you're up there.
And I'm pleased with it. And I've gone really far. And I've made more money than I thought possible. I mean, I'm not kidding.
That's great. And this can happen to you, too. You can make more money than you ever thought was possible.
Unbelievable.
Well, our next guest tonight, another student who's kind of getting up there to rooftop level in the seminars. He's going to share some secrets with you tonight. And we have here, and your name is?
My name is David Bushnell.
That's right, David Bushnell. David is a leader in the seminars. He's someone he's done so well in our seminars and done so well in his investing that he's starting to teach some of these seminars. So Dave, can you share some of your secrets with us?
Well, the secret is this. It's no secret.
Pretty good.
That's the secret. Real estate is something that you can learn. Real estate is something that I see as a way of life. I treat it like a martial art, and somehow the money just keeps on coming and coming and coming. I was in any kind of group that you can imagine trying to make some meaning out of my life. ACOA, men's groups galore. I could go on and on and on, and what I learned from these, and it was good to spend the times in my 69 Impala pulling the window down like this and pulling it back up like that. They seem so long ago, but it was good. But the fact is, what I learned is that you got to take care of yourself.
That's right.
Isn't that the truth?
Dave,
Isn't that the truth?
And Dave is doing
Not good to
very,
anybody if
very
I'm not
well.
taking
He's
care
going
of
to share
myself.
some of his secrets that I've taught him through the Miracle Seminars a little later in the evening. I'd like to remind you, before we meet the rest of our students here, that you can call in. The show's going out live. There's a number on the screen. You can call and ask questions to do with real estate or my seminars. So let's go right on to the next student. We have Tom Willard. Hi, Tom.
Hi, I'm really happy to be here. Well, my story started about 5 years ago, and I'm a social worker, or I was at the time. I had my MSW in social work, and I did a lot of seminars with anger management, people that were truly angry and just had a hard time with their lives and expressing themselves, many things pent up. And well, basically, I just didn't feel the career was very rewarding. And I was looking through some of the mail that I had gotten, and there it was. I mean, the most important letter of my entire life. And I mean, I basically owe the rest of my life and my awakening to you, Randy James.
Oh, thank you.
And the Miracle Real Estate course. It's really changed my life, and almost overnight I felt the money start to roll in. I mean, just envelopes of money come in.
So you went out there and used some of my techniques, some of my miracle techniques, and the money just rolled in as a result.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
We're talking
great.
big money here.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Feels so
I
good.
just topped my second million this week.
$2 million. $2 million, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
That's great. And that $2 million can be in your bank account, too. Well, we have some people who are just starting in the courses. And this is Darcy Dillon and Jeff Dillon, and they're going to share some of the impressions that they have being brand new students to the seminars.
This is a wonderful seminar. We too got our letter, and we couldn't wait to get down. I quit my job at the mattress making.
factory.
Yes, I make mattresses, made mattresses, and she worked at Payless.
Payless.
Yeah, well, we threw that all aside because we know a good deal when we see it.
Of course, we're not working now, but
No.
who needs to?
No.
Not with this seminar.
Not with the
when the
money that's
money
going to be
starts
pouring in.
rolling
That's
in,
right.
boy.
It's going to be great. A lot of money's going to be in their bank accounts soon, too. Well, why don't we just go right in and share some of these secrets? I know the people are very interested. They've been listening to you and can see the prosperity just beaming from you, so this is going to be really great. Let's see, Tom, maybe you can tell us one of the secrets that I share in my miracle seminar.
Absolutely. One of the things that's helped me most of all was the early morning chant, just to bring myself out of the sleep state.
That's right, the chant.
For a long time I thought coffee was the answer, and then after a number of years it just didn't work for me. So I started to chant, "The money will come in. The money will come in. The money will come in. The money will
Go ahead and join in. The money will come
will
in.
come in.
The money will come in. The money will. Doesn't that feel great? Isn't that wonderful knowing that that money is really going to come in? It's going to come in by truckloads, by train loads, by carrier freighter loads. It's going to be wonderful. You're going to have so much money. Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look
Yeah.
how good they feel. You can feel that good too.
Yes. Oh, sure.
Well, you know, some of the techniques that I teach are really pretty basic. And as you go through life, you only probably go around once before you go on up to the big broker in the sky. And while you're here, why not try, while you're making money, why not try to improve other people's lives? You can do so much for your fellow man through real estate. And I'd like to share with an example with you right now. Let's say this is one of the techniques that we have that everyone here is aware of that I'll share with you if you take my seminar. Let's say you're driving down the street, you go past a graveyard, and you look up and you can see...
I've done this so many times.
This is great. It works, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that there's a funeral going on right now. You see the relatives and friends of the deceased, and they're all around the gravesite. Well, wouldn't it be a warm, wonderful thing for you to just go ahead, drive right up there, very respectfully, just walk right up, and go to the people that are dressed in black. They're generally the ones who are relatives of the deceased. Go right up to them, and especially if there's a woman wearing a veil, just go right on up to them and just say, "He was a wonderful man," or "That was a wonderful person."
That's beautiful.
To begin with, you're going to make that person feel so good. They are in a troubled time in their life, and to hear that from you is going to make things so much better for them. And then think about this. Think very hard about this. They probably are in a very serious financial situation. They need money. They need it badly. And someone who is providing income into that household has gone, and they just can't live the lifestyle that they used to have. But just think, if you were willing to pay $20,000 or $30,000 for their house, think about that, $20,000 or $30,000 into their income. It would make life so much easier for them. So what you do, you pass on your condolences, and then maybe have a little card made up that just has your name, and maybe it says, "I buy real estate" on it, and you give that to them. Just put it in their pocket, pat them on the shoulder, and say, "I'm willing to take your house off your hands." Let's all say that. "I'm willing to take your house off your hands." They will be so grateful. This is a good thing you'll do. So you just, let me show here. You drive to the graveyard where there's going to be a grave. They'll be putting somebody into that open grave, and eventually one of these headstones will be on. What could be on that headstone? You could be responsible for what is on that headstone. It could be, "He left a financially secure family. Thanks to you." That could be on the gravestone. So think about it. I get a little choked up whenever I talk about that. So
You know, Randy,
okay, yeah.
one of the things that you taught me,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that you taught me in a miracle course,
Uh huh.
and I stress miracle because
Miracle.
it is a miracle,
Yes.
was that you've got to learn to think for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your imagination running.
Mm-hmm.
And I took this idea, and I think I described this to you once before.
Uh-huh.
I took this idea and took it one step farther.
Share with the audience what that step was.
Well, what I did was I started hanging around hospitals. And in fact, I found I found the best thing to do is buy yourself a good-looking lab coat, you know?
Great. They don't cost very
And
much.
no, they don't cost anything. Just a nice white lab coat like the doctors wear. And you just travel through the different hospitals. Just walk up and down the halls during visiting hours and just check out the different people that are going in and out of the rooms. And sooner or later, you're going to find someone who's just just about to go. And you can see the people are pretty bereaved and they're pretty upset. And the last thing in the world that they want to think about is, well, whether or not they're going to have to deal with selling their house or selling mom's house or whatever. And so I'm there, Johnny on the spot, with my card, and I go up to them and I say, I'd like to help. Because I think that's the most important part, is helping.
Helping your fellow man.
I'd like to help.
Yes.
And they're usually so happy to see me that I can just go ahead and close the deal right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just take whatever price I want. And it's a terrific thing.
That's great.
Because not only are you making big, and I'm talking big,
Mhm.
bucks,
Mm-hmm.
you're helping people out. And
That's
you're
right.
lightening the load of your fellow man.
That's absolutely right. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
It
Jeff
was.
and Darcy, how is this coming across to you, being new in the seminar?
This is wonderful.
I'm so close to tears.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You know, well, on a happier note, when you're driving down the street, and let's say you're going by a church. Oh, yeah. The Dillons specialize in this. They're new in the course, but they have this one down, no problem. You're driving by a church. Let's say there's a nice car there, maybe a limo with some tin cans on the back and some pink paper mache around it. You know what's going on. There's a wedding going on in there. So why don't you tell us what you do?
Okay, so we go to the wedding, both of us together.
Team.
He owns a tux. And thank you. And then we go up to the reception, usually downstairs at the church, and we go up to the bride and groom. We just walk through and wish them congratulations, and then we hand them our card and tell them that we're there to help.
They're usually stunned. It's great.
It's so overwhelming.
It's rewarding.
They don't know how to buy a house, and we're there to help them, but tell them the real story. Tell them how we get the houses.
Come on, Jeff.
Well, that's only half of it. You see, she specializes in handling the younger people, and I handle the other end of it. See, we need the houses to get these people into. So I specialize in Alzheimer's patients, and knowing that they're getting on, I try to get them between the pablum stage and the depends stage, and then I convince them that they must get rid of their house before they go into their institution that they're naturally going to go into. Unfortunately, it's a fact of life. And then we simply explain to them that the prices of houses have really risen since World War II, and the house that they may have bought for $7,000 is now worth $15,000.
Maybe 20.
Yeah. And so then we'll take that $15,000 home and
We'll just take it off their shoulders. We will relieve them of the burden of having to deal with that home. They're not in the state to have to deal with that home, and we're there to help.
and the newlyweds can usually afford to give us
$50,000, $60,000, $70,000.
Yeah.
You know what I like?
What is that?
Your relationship.
Oh,
Don't you guys? You guys have a way of relating to each other. Don't you?
We're a team.
we work independently.
And intergenerationally.
But together, yeah.
Would you all agree with me that one of the things that you have gotten out of my seminars is just more warmth and love in your life?
Oh, absolutely.
Our
I think
relationship has just blossomed since we've been taking the seminar.
And the care
Our
and
communication
concern.
skills.
It's great. The care and concern that you show for your fellow man and for each other is just makes me feel warm all over.
Randy, I have something that I'd like to share that I got
Oh,
directly
great.
from the seminar.
Great. Listen up out there.
A small tip, but and it goes right along in the same vein with what you were describing. But for a very small investment, I got myself a police band radio.
Oh, great.
And it just scans,
Great, yeah.
scans back
Uh-huh.
and forth. And often there's accidents that are very bad, and people are traumatized. And I mean, you know how much insurance is and how much it costs for liability.
right.
Well, these people are in sorry shape physically, and they just have mentally, oh yes, a huge responsibility. And so I just think of helping others out. And I have the quitclaim forms that you include in your package, chapter 7, and I have them all Xeroxed off and my cards stapled to the top.
That's great.
And before these people are even in the ambulance, I can relieve them of the burden of the responsibility of making their house payment. They just sign off on the quitclaim, and they don't have to worry about their mortgage payment any longer.
I've got some of
You
those
are a
claim forms. I
lifesaver.
take those with me everywhere I go.
Absolutely.
When I go jogging, I've got several of them folded up in a special case on my back, just in case.
It's the triage. When you hear the triage unit, code 3 called for in the police band,
Right.
then you know there are probably 10 or 15 people involved in the accident. And you can help many people at the same time.
You know, I'd like to share where that technique came from.
Oh,
I jog
please.
around Green Lake every day. Every day I go around Green Lake. And a while back I went around and somebody had gone off the road, gone off Aurora Avenue and driven right into the lake. And, well, it was...
What a stroke of luck.
It was. And the person driving it had died, but the other person, they got out, and they were very distraught. And I was able to use that technique and just lighten their load that day. So I felt very good.
What a humanitarian.
You know, let's go out into our audience and just take some questions from a caller out there. Hi, do you have a question for us?
Yeah, I'm like just kind of sitting here watching your show, man.
Uh-huh.
And, well, it sounds like I can make a little money, you know?
Of course you can.
Yeah, 'cause like, I really need to make a few dollars, man.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And, like, I saw the little picture you drew, and, like, it makes complete sense, you know? Like, with the
course.
graveyard and all, and the graves and everything.
Uh-huh.
Like, I can do that. So I'm wondering, you know, like, what does it take for me to kind of make a few bucks for myself if you catch my drift?
Well, I think if you stay tuned right now, you can watch, and the announcer will come on and tell you where the next seminar is going to be and how much it's going to cost, and this is the place that you need to be. You need to go to that location, take that seminar. It's just the first step. As we've mentioned earlier, this is like building a house, and you need to get in on the foundation. We have a couple of chimney people here. We have a couple of double-pane window people here. It'll be great. You just watch right now. We'll go to that announcer right now, and they'll share that information.
Okay, thanks, man, 'cause I really need to make a little cash, you know?
Okay, well, just watch your screen right now. Get your pencil there right handy.
Okay.
Welcome back to the show, and we're going to share some more exciting secrets with you. We have done so much for the goodness of the world, for the betterment of mankind, all the graduates of the Randy James Miracle Seminar, and there's one problem that we're going to address tonight that it's just incredible what we have done. You know, it's a sad fact that out there in the world there are a lot of people who are on drugs. People who sell drugs, people who take drugs. It's really sad. Well, you can get rich in real estate and also help take care of that drug problem throughout the United States. Let's say, for instance, there's a little house down the street that you kind of have your eye on, something that you really like. And let's say that there's a family that lives there, and, well, maybe they have a 16-year-old son, and you just know down deep inside that that fella is smoking marijuana.
Killer weed.
He's smoking marijuana. Here's an opportunity for you to save this young man's life, because you know the next step after marijuana is crack, and after crack, heroin, and it just leads straight to that grave. And, well, you want to get get that real estate right now before somebody dies. If you can help them out when they die, but before they die, you can really help them out. And here's what you do. If you know that that fella is smoking marijuana, what you need to do is a couple of things. First, you call the police and you tell them that this is a crack house, because basically it is. I mean, the fella's smoking marijuana, right? He'll be selling crack out of that house before you know it. And then you enlist some of your friends, maybe some of your fellow seminar graduates, and you start driving your cars there, all times, but maybe mostly late at night, and you go up to the door and you just knock on the door, and you might just say, hi, wrong house. Say whatever you want when you get up to the house. But what'll happen is all the neighbors will see a lot of traffic and a lot of people going for short visits to that home. And what are they going to think? They're going to think it's a crack house. You are not doing anything wrong. You are saving that young man's life, because you know he's smoking marijuana. You know that if he gets in trouble now over drugs, he won't progress to the next steps, which will surely lead to the end of any useful life. So you do this, you start up this crack house. You make sure that everyone in the neighborhood thinks that there's a crack house there, and then you get the police to close it down. If they're the owners living there, the police will just confiscate it, and then you buy that house. Or, better yet, if there are tenants living there, you get a hold of the landlord and you tell him this is a crack house. You form some bogus community group, you know, something that looks really good on the news, and you pretty much force this guy to sell the house. And you go out there and you get it. Got money coming. I've got money coming. I've got money coming. You've got money coming too. You take our seminar and you will have more money than you know what to do with. Oh, doesn't it feel good? Think of all the things that's going to buy you, all the good that you can do with that money.
You know, when that family moves away, where are they going to move to? The suburbs, where they belong.
That's right.
That's right. And you just might own those houses in the suburbs, and you might be able to sell them to them. That house maybe that somebody bought for real, you know, that's one of the basic secrets that people don't realize about how you make money in real estate. Now listen up, I'm going to share this with you. You buy low and you sell high.
Most people don't know that.
Simple as that.
Most people don't know that.
Example, let's say you get that person with Alzheimer's to sell you their house for $10,000. You turn around and you sell it for $200,000. That's right, to the newlyweds. That's $190,000 you've made on that transaction. You've put $10,000 into the pocket of that seller. You've sold this wonderful couple a new home, and you have $190,000 to do with what you
really
like.
works.
Isn't it great? Why don't we go ahead and take another call, because I know you have a lot of questions out there. Hi, do you have a question for us tonight?
Yes, I do, Mr. James. My name is Barry Press. I'm with the Federal Real Estate Control Commission. We've had numerous complaints about you and your organization and your methods, and we feel that...
I'm sorry, there's apparently a bad connection. I think what he was trying to say, there are a lot of organizations out there that really support what we're doing.
Yes, oh yeah.
And he just wanted to come on and let the viewers know that what we are doing is right and successful, and it'll work.
I've got
Money coming. And you all have money coming to you, too. Isn't that great? You know, Tom, there's a secret that I wasn't going to share tonight with the viewers, but it's something that you have been very successful at.
Yes.
And I'd like you to share that with everybody. This normally comes when you're at the rafter level. I mean, I don't share this on TV very often.
Most people don't realize that some part of their house is very, very dangerous.
That's right.
Could be structural, could be electrical, but there's something wrong with most houses.
You can always find it.
Oh, yeah. And these people are living in this house in danger. I mean, they may have small children or elderly people living in this house, and what we simply do is go in and find the problem and point it out to them and save them a lot of money in repairs, because most of these are very, very expensive. Electrical, for one, can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Again, the quick claim at hand, and we give them an out and also preserve a part of their family. Keep the family together. I mean, that's That's the foremost thing I think I've gotten from the Miracle Course, is that we are a society of one people and we need to look out for one another.
I've got money coming.
I've got money coming.
I've got
You know, going hand in hand with what Tom said is another technique that we teach. In Washington State, you do not need any training, you do not need any qualifications, you need nothing to become a real estate appraiser. You can just have a card made that says real estate
I love
appraiser,
this state.
and there you are. You are one all of a sudden. So what you could do,
Kind of
now let's
offering.
say Tom went in with somebody and said, I'm interested in buying your house. They go into the house and they say, this is my friend, he's a real estate appraiser. This appraiser goes through the house and he finds a lot of things that are wrong with that house. And let's say he says, well, this house is worth, if it was, we know that if the house is fixed up, it might be worth $150,000. But he finds enough things wrong with that house. He just looks and looks and looks, and he comes up with an appraisal that says, well, this house is only worth $10,000 because it has so many things wrong. Well, you go ahead and buy it because, hey, the guy's an appraiser. He knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
And you get the house for next to nothing. There again, you've done nothing wrong. You've provided this appraiser with work. You have purchased a piece of real estate that you can turn around and sell for a profit, and you have put $10,000 into that person's pocket. Do you know any other way out there that those people are going to get their hands on $10,000? Jeff.
I have a question. How much does a real estate appraiser usually cost?
Well, that depends. If you hire a real one, it's going to run anywhere from an honest one is going to cost maybe $300, and a one who's flexible in their views and willing to negotiate and understand your view of the market, maybe $2,000.
$2,000.
So, okay. Well, I think we have time for one more call before we go off the air tonight. So let's go to that line. Hi. Thanks for calling. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah. I'm really interested in the seminar. But how long does it take before before I actually start making money? I mean, is it like a long time or what? How long do I have to wait before the money starts coming in? That's my question.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and answer for us?
Well, caller, I when I first took the course, when I first got out of the restaurant business, I worked at the meat market. I remember that, and I was making $20 in tips, maybe a day, maybe, and that's when we were getting paid $2.65 an hour, I think. The first week I was out, I tried I actually tried the roomer. The roomer.
Very good technique.
Where I hit all the houses on the block in the neighborhood, made sure that they knew that there was a rumor that the whole neighborhood was going to be sold really quickly. The government was going to come in and buy it all up and make some sort of, I think it was military housing.
Right,
And it worked like a charm. People were just starting to panic. And I think I made, and this is the first week, because I tried that. That's one of the ones you just mentioned in lesson number 1. First week, I made, I think it was $220,000.
That's great. What I've shared with you tonight and my students have shared with you tonight can be part of your life. You can take the Randy James Miracle Seminar and you can make this kind of money. You too can become like these people. Rich in real estate are well on their way. Got money coming. I've got money coming. I've got money coming. You've got money coming. You're going to get rich in real estate. You need to take my course, the Randy's Miracle Seminar course. Randy James is going to teach you everything. Just come to Randy. It's going to be great. You're going to have so much money. And think of those people that you can help. Think of it. It's great. All right, great. Doesn't that feel good? Oh, boy.
It always feels so good,
Yeah, it does. It does.
I love it when
Sharing
we have
those
the
secrets with
seminar and
people,
we
it's
have
really great.
all those
Let me
people.
thank you all personally.
those
This is
people,
great,
they're all
great.
chanting now.
Oh, this
That's
is
just
wonderful,
one
wonderful. Thank you.
a
Very
room of
good,
people
very good,
chanting,
very
you know?
good. Excellent, excellent. Oh boy, you
Randy,
guys show promise. You're going to make it out there. You are going to make it out there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can make a lot of money in real estate. Good night. We'll see you at the seminar.
I've got money coming.
I've got money coming. I've got money coming. You've 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 got money coming.